Hey, what's going on everybody? Recently I picked up another bike and this will be the next project. As you can see, got a red Fender here behind me. So this is a 2003 CRF 450 and obviously the motor's out of it. I've got that in a box out in the shed. So I will be parting this bike out. It seems to be in pretty good shape from the looks of it, but I'll be doing things a little bit differently on this one. So every video I make on it, I'll be taking 10 parts off the bike, cleaning them up, and posting them for sale on the website. So 10 parts every video until this bike is completely parted out. Just gonna show a little bit more in depth of the process here at Revive. Man, I'm stoked to get working on this thing. You guys know I love Hondas. So obviously I'm gonna start with the plastics and seat. Pretty much just gonna be pulling parts off until I have 10 parts on the cart. Alright, the seat's the first part off the bike, and then I'm going to move on to the side plates. So the side plates are sold together, so that will be number 2. And then the shrouds, same deal, sold together, and that'll be the third part. So as I'm pulling these parts off, all the hardware goes into a little bin. And all the bolts off the chassis are sold in a set, and then I sell an engine hardware set as well. On parts like this that has a crack and generally it's just beat up, not really worth saving, especially for a front road plate, so I'm gonna toss this out. So far I'm at 5 parts, so I've got 5 more to go. Next up is gonna be the gas tank and start pulling apart the back of the bike, subframe and airbox. Since I split things down pretty far, I'll have the gas cap, the fitting on the bottom of the tank, and the gas tank strap as individual parts as well. Before I tear into the CRF anymore, there's a few things I want to check over. First, I'm going to look at the subframe, make sure it's all straight. Looks pretty good. This radiator isn't so straight, however. Looks pretty messed up. And then I'm going to test the brakes. Make sure they've got good pressure. Spin the wheel. Make sure it's working good. Those feel pretty solid. Front brakes, same deal. We've got good pressure. Should be good to go. And then I'm going to take the bike off the stand. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to test the linkage. Going to check if there's any slop in this linkage. Can you see the piece that's moving down there? So as I pull up on the back wheel, you'll be able to notice the slop in the bearing. So there's one bearing down there that has some movement in it, and that'll need some attention. All right, now I'm gonna pull the bike off the stand and check the shock seal for any leaks, as well as the fork seals. All right, I'm gonna pull the bike off the stand and check these suspension seals. Just gonna push down on the back of the bike to compress the shock. And we'll be able to see if there's any leaks coming from the seal. So I do not see anything. Good to go. And on these forks here, grab the front brakes and compress the forks. The seal looks like it's got a little bit leaking, and this one as well. I'm gonna wipe the tubes and test it again, see if they're actually leaking. So I wiped the tubes down, just gonna compress them again and see if there's any oil lines forming on them. Looks like this side has a slight oil buildup, and this side too. So these seals are gonna need to be cleaned out. I've got one more part to pull off to make it 10, and that part is gonna be the muffler. And as soon as this part's off, it's on to cleaning all these parts up. I've also got the header for this exhaust system too, so I'll be cleaning this up as well. Alrighty, time to get cleaning. Since this stuff really isn't too nasty, I'll just be using a degreaser and a brush, instead of firing up the pressure washer and soak tank. Okay, I'll be switching to the GoPro for cleaning. Let me know how you guys like this perspective. So for this header, I'm using mag wheel cleaner and a Scotch-Brite pad. Not bad looking. All these spots right here are just not gonna come out, unfortunately. And for the muffler, you definitely want to plug up the ends of it. Getting water inside of here is never a good idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the mag wheel cleaner again, as well as a brush and the Scotch-Brite. To clean up all the staining right here, I'm gonna have to bust out the wire brush. Alright, muffler's all done. I am pretty happy with how this thing turned out. Now on the fender, I've just got simple green degreaser in the spray bottle. I'm just gonna spray it down and scrub it down with the brush. The gas tank is going to be a very similar process, just degreaser and a brush. Now it's onto the seat. There's a lot of people out there that say cleaning a seat with water ruins it, but that simply isn't true. So the cover is water resistant, and on the bottom, there's no areas where the water can get into the foam, unless you're really trying to and squirting water underneath the cover here. But if you're simply just doing a nice cleanup on it, it's not an issue at all. I'm just gonna clean this with degreaser, Scotch-Brite pad, and a brush. So I've got all these parts cleaned up, and I'd have to say I'm pretty stoked with the results. This stuff is looking prime time. The next step is to haul these parts over to the studio and shoot some pictures. So I was just thinking about this. I was planning on tossing out this front number plate, but instead of doing that, why not just give it away, right? So my question for you guys is, what silencer do I run on my 125? It's been in a few videos, so if you go back and watch older riding videos and videos where I've worked on the 125, you'll see what silencer I run. So put your guess down in the comments below on this video, and I will go through and pick a random correct guess, sign that number plate, and send it over to you. Alright, let's hear it, guys. So I've got all these pictures pulled up on the computer now, and they turned out really good. It is so much fun shooting in that studio. Definitely one of my favorite parts of the job. What I'm faced with right now is turning a physical product into an online product. And so what that entails is uploading the pictures, describing the condition of the part, doing the pricing details, figuring out the shipping, the fitment, what years and models the part fits. And there's a whole host of other things I gotta work on as well. So I'll kind of show you what goes into turning, say, like these shrouds into an online product on my website. Alright, so these shrouds, the first thing I'm going to do is find a similar product that I already listed on my website. So search up CRF 450 shrouds, see what shows up, and I'm just going to pull up any random file here. Then I'll duplicate it and add in the title for the new one, which is going to be 2002 to 2003 on the CRF 450 Radiator Shrouds. That's the title. All this info right here is basically describing what the part is, the fitment, the part number, the brand, retail price, condition, and all that. And this is where the bulk of the work is. So figuring out the fitment and the condition is kind of time consuming. Alright, so now I've got the description figured out. Part is Radiator Shrouds, removed from, retail, all that, it's 02 to 03, and the description, or the condition of it, just describes what the what kind of shape they're in. And just your normal wear and tear, all that kind of thing. And then I'm gonna add some images. Find these things here. Shrouds are right there. Drop those in. For the pricing, I've got these at $29.99. Add in the shipping info. That's kind of monotonous work. So that pretty much covers everything I've got to input on the back end of the website. I'm just going to go up here and click save. And to view it live on the website, let's go and find it. Should be right at the top here. Alright, there we go. CRF 450 Radiator Shrouds. And this is what it looks like all finished up. Got the pictures up top. Pretty basic thing. Alright, I've got these parts available on the website now. So if you're in need of any CRF 450 plastics, seat, gas tank, or maybe an exhaust system, head over to revivemoto.com and check it out. I'll actually put the link as the first one down in the description. I already cannot wait to film the next video in this little series. This is going to be a fun project. I appreciate you guys hanging around, and don't forget to put your guesses down in the comments below for this giveaway. I'll see you on the flip side.